In this video, we'll see how passwords are really cracked. Passwords are not saved as plain texts. Any website of this age on the internet uses a hashing algorithm to encrypt and manage passwords. There are many types of hashing algorithms like the SHA-1, MD5, etc. As an example for this video, let's consider Facebook. In order to log into your Facebook account, you enter your email and password and click on login. The first time you create a Facebook account, you are asked to fill in a form like this, which contains your name, your email address, and it asks you to choose a password, your birth date, and your gender. Once you click on sign up, this data is sent to the Facebook's backend database. In the Facebook's database, your name, your gender, your age, and your email or phone is saved as it is. But what about the password? As I told you, a password will never be saved as a plain text in a website's database. So this password is given as input to a hashing algorithm, and the output given by this hashing algorithm is the encrypted form of the password, which appears to be random but is not. This hashed password is saved in the Facebook's database but not the plain text, which means the password which you entered will never be saved on Facebook's database as a plain text. Instead, only it's encrypted, or in other words, the hashed password is saved in the Facebook's database. Now suppose Facebook had a data breach, and hackers managed to gain access to Facebook's user info, which included their name, age, gender, email, and password. Though hackers have this information, they will not be able to log into any specific user account because the password is encrypted. If the hacker tries to log into any specific user account with the hashed password, he will not be provided access. He only needs to enter the password, which is in the plain text form. So what do the hacker do now? Intuitively, the only possible way is to reverse the hash into its plain text form. But this is highly impossible because a hash is a one-way function, and the plain text form of a hash cannot be obtained from the hash itself. That is how hashing algorithms are designed. So what now? This is when the strength of the password comes into the play. If you are using a common password like test123456, which I used earlier to sign up for Facebook, then the hacker will easily able to know the plain text form of your password from the hash string. There is something known as rainbow tables. These rainbow tables contain the password hashes of numerous commonly used passwords along with their plain text forms. So the hacker will be able to do a simple search with the password hash that he has, and if the password hash exists in the rainbow table, that means that the password is successfully cracked and we now have the password in a plain text form. Remember that rainbow tables contain the password hashes of only the passwords which are commonly used. As a reference, you can try it yourself at crackstation.net. But what if the password is not a commonly used password? In that case, rainbow tables are of no use. So there comes dictionary attack and brute force attack. Both are quite similar. In dictionary attack, you have a word list. A word list is nothing but a huge text file with loads of passwords. In this attack, the hacker writes a code which compares the password hash to be cracked with the password hash of each and every password that exists in the word list file. If any hashes match, then it means that the cracking is successful and we now have the plain text of the hashed password. Now this attack can be target specific as well, which means you can actually create your own word list targeting a specific individual, provided that you know some basic details about him and assuming that he used his basic details to frame his password. This attack can be a success or a failure based on the quality of the word list that you are using. In a brute force attack, each and every combination of letters, symbols, and numbers are converted into their hash forms and are then compared with the password hash which is to be cracked. In other words, you're literally taking every possible password that can exist, convert it into its hash, and check if the hashes match. So yes, it literally takes forever to crack a strong password using this method. However, if the computer's processing speed is fast enough, then yep, simple passwords can be cracked easily by this method. A new technique called salting is introduced by security analysts to give hackers a hard time in cracking passwords. In this technique, a specific combination of characters are inserted at specific positions of the plain text password before hashing. Every company has its own salting algorithm and they don't make their salting algorithm public. For example, let's say Facebook's salting algorithm inserts the string f ampersand 2p at the beginning after the third character and at the end of the plain text password. After salting the password, the salted password is then hashed by a hashing algorithm. So, when a salt is used, rainbow tables are of no use, even if the password to be cracked is a weak and commonly used password, because the hash of the password without salting do not match the hash of the password which is salted. Also, brute force attack and dictionary attack are not effective to crack salted passwords, unless the hacker already knows the salting algorithm employed by a company. So that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. Leave a like if you liked this video, and also don't forget to subscribe for more awesome videos. Comment down below if you have any doubts regarding this video.
Hackers. Will they hack your emails, phone camera, bank account? 50 million Facebook users' data taken over during a cyber attack? Online security breach is not a new term in recent years, as hackers can break into everything, from your Gmail account and your phone camera to election results. As the world is getting increasingly digital, everything becomes more accessible to hackers. So, as long as the internet is a thing, hackers are here to stay. But some of them outshine others by applying their skills in the most surprising ways. In this video, we will explore the most extreme hackers and their stories, which, we assure you, will make you rethink the idea of using the same password for several different accounts. So, before entering the digital underworld, press those subscribe and bell buttons so you don't miss any upcoming videos. Number 10. Kevin Poulsen. As harmless as he looks, this is Kevin Poulsen, one of the most notorious hackers in USA history. He, under the alias Dark Dante, raised some inferno back in his peak days. Poulsen became notorious back in the 1990s after hacking telephone company computers in order to manipulate the phone lines leading to Los Angeles radio stations, so he could be the winning caller in phone-in radio contests. Among the prizes that he got himself this way were $20,000 in cash and a Porsche 944 S2 Cabriolet. But it's the hacking into the Federal Investigation Database that really got him into trouble. He attracted the authorities' attention and had to go into hiding for 18 months, after which he got arrested and was sentenced to 5 years in prison. At the time, the longest US sentencing for hacking. Number 9. George Hotz. George Hotz, also known as GeoHot, started building his reputation as a serious hacker. He became the first reported person in history to be able to say this.
This is the world's first unlocked iPhone.
This event was so huge that George Hotz was contacted by a millionaire and given an offer that he simply couldn't refuse: to trade an unlocked iPhone for 3 new iPhones and a Nissan 350Z. At the time, to buy a new car like this, you must have had a spare $28,000 lying around, or an unlocked iPhone. This was only the start for Hotz, because in the following years, he hacked the Sony PlayStation 3 and got in legal trouble for doing it.
I'm getting sued by Sony!
And in 2015, he picked yet another fight. This time with the man himself, Elon Musk. Hotz was offered a position with the multi-million-dollar business to develop autopilot software, but he declined. Instead, Hotz tried achieving this ambition himself. Number 8. Jonathan James. Some 15-year-olds play Fortnite in their free time, while others hack into NASA and the Pentagon. Just because, why not? This was the case for Jonathan James, who went under the name Comrade. He was the first juvenile in the USA to be sentenced for computer hacking back in 2000. James intruded on government systems and obtained the source code for the International Space Station. This means he got access to the software which was responsible for controlling the physical environment of the station. Once NASA detected the intrusion, They had to shut down their computers for 3 weeks in order to fix the system. Even though James didn't get away with it, one can say that he did them a favor because he revealed huge security flaws. As he explained it, they lack some serious computer security, and the hard part is learning it. You can't say that he's wrong, since he did all this by using only an old-school Pentium computer. Number 7. Kevin Mitnick. From the way this guy looks, it's almost impolite to say that he's the most wanted computer criminal in United States history. As the US Department of Justice once called him, Kevin Mitnick's skills were visible from a very young age. At age 13, his entertainment was hacking into phone systems. Little did he know that some years later, he would receive a 5-year prison sentence with 8 months in a confinement cell. Law enforcement officers were so afraid of his hacking skills that during his trial, the judge was told that he could start a nuclear war by whistling into a payphone. Mitnick built such a reputation by breaking into the networks of companies like IBM, Nokia, and Motorola. But today, Mitnick is free and no longer feared by these companies. In fact, chances are they are now his clients, because he reinvented himself by switching sides. He's also written several books about his wild online days. He is no longer a security-breaking intruder, but a white hat hacker who helps companies to solve their security issues. Number 6. Xbox Underground. Gamers will understand. When the game's good, you just have to explore every map and every level of it, and then hack into the systems of the company that developed the game. Right? Well, that's what an international hacker group, the Xbox Underground, did. Not only did they intrude on systems of such companies as Activision, Valve, or Epic Games, they reportedly broke into Microsoft's network and stole secret credentials so they could physically walk into the Microsoft headquarters in Redmond, USA. They got into this place and took 3 not yet released versions of the Xbox One console with them. As they themselves explained, they were driven by a strong curiosity. Number 5. Gary McKinnon. A Scottish hacker who raised havoc under the name of Solo will not be forgiven anytime soon by NASA. Working as a system administrator by day and a hacker at night, Solo was accused of hacking into 97 NASA computers in the early 2000s. Not only did he hack into them, he found and allegedly deleted critically important data and other files that were stored on these computers. Your security system is crap. I am Solo. I will continue to disrupt at the highest levels, was the message that the hacker left. Yet, once he was caught, he was accused of causing $700,000 worth of damage. But Gary McKinnon is famous not only for that. Allegedly, what he found in those computers consisted of top-secret information about UFO cover-ups and similar government secrets. He managed to reveal all of these while hacking from his girlfriend's aunt's house. Number 4. Higinio Ochoa. This is something other than what you might think. It's the signature of that Texan hacker, Higinio Ochoa, under the nickname of Wormer, would leave behind him in systems that he hacked into. Ironically, the same picture would eventually become his own downfall. Wormer and his hacker buddies formed a group called Cabin Crew. Together, they hacked into the police and other US law enforcement agencies' online databases, where they gained access to secret information. One time, after hacking into a certain database and leaving behind the signature bikini picture, the FBI saw it as an opportunity to capture him. They tracked down the GPS coordinates from the very same bikini photo. It led to Wormer's girlfriend's house, and it served as evidence against the hacker in his trial. 3 years in prison was not enough to punish him. His parole agreement includes a prohibition for him from connecting to the internet. So that's how he lives today, offline. That must be rather bizarre, because that still doesn't stop him from working as a programmer. Number 3. Jan Chrysler. Fingerprints. A feature that makes each one of us unique, since even identical twins have different fingerprints. Yet, this German hacker, Jan Chrysler, also known as the Starbug, decided to prove that it's not that difficult to get a hold of someone else's fingerprints. And not just anyone else's, but the fingerprints of the German defense minister. He found some high-resolution photos online, which were enough for him to be able to successfully recreate her fingerprints. Not only that, in 2013, when the iPhone 5S was released,